White feminism, radical white feminism has really done a job on the black community in convincing a lot of black women to see the black man as her main problem.
Okay.
White supremacy is the main problem of the black community. Yeah. In many matriarchal African societies, polygyny was created by females, not males.
Stop it.
And the reason women gave birth to polygyny in matriarchal African societies is to make sure every woman had what they had. It was the Ubuntu principle. I am because we are. My sister cannot be without a husband if I have one. Yeah. And also when we have these conversations about polygyny, the female voice is often carried by the elitist middle-class black woman. In other words, you only hear from black women who don't have to share their husbands. You never hear from Sister Rashida on Section 8 with 8 boys pulling her hair out.
Yes. And it's not just the black community; whites are aborting their kids as well. But what do you say about abortion? And I know the adoption rates are down. Black people don't go get kids.
That's
we don't foster. We don't do any of that. And are we derelict in some of these areas? And what are your thoughts on abortion in general?
I'm not a supporter of it.
Okay.
I don't condemn anyone for life decisions that they've had to make for whatever reason. Nobody's perfect. But as a policy decision, the black community has to stop aborting its babies. But I would also say this. I don't want to scapegoat the black woman who gets an abortion no more than I want to scapegoat the black mother who's not able to control her son's behavior. We have to get back to the village concept, and we have to stop blaming our parents for the failures of the community. Where is the black church to support these single black mothers? Where are the black politicians? Where are the black businesses? Where are the black community-based organizations? So much is being dumped on the lap of black mothers when we talk about abortion or when we talk about black child dysfunction, black male public school outcomes. Why are we blaming her? Why aren't we blaming all the black men in the community who claim to be leaders and organizers who are not helping our women raise their sons?
But don't we say that was the problem in the 70s and 80s when they did the government where you had to not have a man in the house to be able to get the money?
In order to get the welfare.
And so is that now, are we speaking the same language now?
Well, I tell you, the issue now is not so much not having a man in the house so you don't get the welfare check. The issue now is not having a man in the house so you don't lose your housing. Because now what we see is a lot of single mothers are being evicted because the child's father is back home from jail. He served his time in society, but Section 8 requires what? You cannot have a felon in that house, an able-bodied felon in the home. So a lot of women now have to keep the man out, not for welfare purposes, but for room and board purposes.
And, of course, the old mind virus of I can do bad all by myself.
I can do bad all by myself.
Oh.
White feminism, radical white feminism has really done a job on the black community in convincing a lot of black women to see the black man as her main problem. Okay. White supremacy is the main problem of the black community. Yeah. And we should be fighting that together as male and female. We should not be fighting one another, but that's exactly what the power structure wants to do.
Women and minority-owned business.
Absolutely.
That's one right there that creates. I told guys, if you're going to open a business, put it in your wife's name.
Put it in your wife's name. Well, that's also a reason why you have a lot of white men marrying these black women. They're trying to get the minority business status, and then once they get the business off the ground, they drop their black wife and go get a white wife. And a lot of black women fail to realize the economic opportunity you are for a lot of these white males out here.
Sort of like I ain't gonna say my name, but a lot of TV networks that come on playing Martin and all the black shows. As soon as they get the Cume,
they
all of a sudden it's Friends.
We have always been a means to an end for America. We have never been the end.
Yeah.
And our problem in America is we hate each other more than we hate the racism. So most of us would rather take a chance of being accepted by white people than build up to create an independent, powerful black community.
You've been to not just Africa, but to various countries.
Everywhere but Australia.
Okay. Polygamy. Is that a thing? And could that be something that could strengthen, or would it be more detrimental to the black community in today's construct?
First of all, we already have polygamy.
Okay.
It is already practiced. Most males have more than one woman, regardless of race. The issue, though, is it's not regulated or organized. So women are being exploited and children are being neglected. So the issue for black women is for sisters to come together without us there to decide how they're going to regulate this system of polygyny that you already have. It's not about bringing something new into the black community. It's already here, but it's not benefiting black women. They're losing. So black women need to organize and put some rules and accountability systems to it so it can begin to work for them. In many matriarchal African societies, polygyny was created by females, not males.
Stop it.
And
Stop
the reason
it.
women gave birth to polygyny in matriarchal African societies is to make sure every woman had what they had. It was the Ubuntu principle. I am because we are. My sister cannot be without a husband if I have one. So looking at the best interests of the black community and matriarchal African communities, the women, not men, women said you're going to have more than one wife, because in order for us to maintain the ecological balance of the black community, in order for us to maintain law and order, in order for us to maintain unity and reciprocity, we got to make sure every woman has a man. Because when a woman doesn't have a man, she will gladly share yours. And one of the things that black women have to look at, and I'm not putting this all on the sisters, because a lot of black women have been in polygynous situations. I was raised Muslim, so I've seen in some situations, not all, where polygyny has been used against black women, where they've been exploited by Hebrew communities, Muslim communities, even polygynous Christian communities, and other communities that took advantage of the black woman's willingness to share her husband. So I understand where the sister is coming from. I'm simply saying this: as long as white America has a war on black men, they're sending us to the cemetery and to the graveyard in significant numbers. As long as there is a shortage of available heterosexual black males, black women are going to have to consider some form of plural marriage. It doesn't have to be for everyone. It doesn't have to be indefinite. It doesn't have to last forever. But if we want to get out of this, what quicker way to get out of this than to make sure every home got a man in it? Yeah. And also, when we have these conversations about polygyny, the female voice is often carried by the elitist middle-class black woman. In other words, you only hear from black women who don't have to share their husbands. You never hear from Sister Rashida on Section 8 with 8 boys pulling her hair out. You don't hear about Sister Kim, you understand me, who is at a point in her life where she's not able to raise these kids on her own, unemployed, living on the street. Talk to the women who are struggling. And most of them will tell you, yes, I'm willing to experience that because what I'm experiencing right now ain't it. This conversation is controlled by elitist black women, upper middle class black women with European values.
Some of y'all pray to Jesus Christ. Some of y'all pray to Jesus. Jesus Christ was a blue, black, purple man born in a cave in Ethiopia. Jesus looks like Michael Bolton. Jesus Christ was hanged from a tree. Jesus was hung from a cross.